Right, what's up everyone? I'm going to make a quick little rant video, basically just on the sort of state of the game at the moment. As of making this video, there has been an announcement that there will be an update coming to matchmaking soon, which is good. Although I'm still going to talk about a few things that I think this game has that really does hold it down in the minute, for me anyway. The number one thing I'm going to talk about is the most obvious one, which is obviously just the lack of draft pick. There's no draft pick mode in the game, which obviously, every single person on the planet that plays this game has an issue with there being no draft pick. And yeah, the reason for this being is just that the characters in the game have the way that the builds work and the characters and things. The characters in the game are so tied down to roles. I think a lot more than people realize. If you look at someone like Paige or a Rem, if you have a team of, you just say 4 supports and 2 initiators, you are not going to win the game, and you've lost the game before laning phase even starts. And I just think that's such a horrible thing to have to queue into, especially in high ranks. Like if you're trying to rank up and actually sort of get somewhere, you're not going to win the game by doing that. Like if you're queuing as a support, who's to say you just absolutely just get rolled over by a team of hyper carriers? You can't do anything about it. So this game needs draft pick. There's just no strategy in going into a bad team composition at the moment. I honestly think if draft pick was to be added, it would add such a good amount of sort of extra sort of strategy and tactics involved, especially before the game starts. I think it would really change this game up and just be a lot more enjoyable for a lot of people. Obviously, I understand that draft pick for newer players may not be that good, especially if you're a one trick and learning someone, because they could get picked, they can get banned, because there's not many heroes in the game. Obviously that does make sense. More so for the higher ranks, there's just no way of being able to tell if you're going to, queue into a bad comp, play against a team that's just, is on paper just better. It really sucks. It does really suck. And I think this game really could do with adding that in. But yeah, draft pick, everyone knows about that. Second thing I'm going to talk about is just the lack of game modes. The two main ones I'm talking about is simply just an unranked and a ranked game mode. So obviously in Deadlock, everyone knows you have your sort of set skill rating that you're put in after playing 6 games, and then from then on you're playing just the one mode, which is just Deadlock, and that's it. There's Street Brawl, and then there's just the game. I think the main issue with this, especially for people trying to climb skill rating, is just that there's going to be a lot of people who are testing out new characters, testing out new builds, may not want to be taking the game too seriously, even if they are in a higher skill rating, and it can worsen the experience for people who are trying to win games. And even if you are one of those casual players, it can also ruin it for you as well, just because people who are trying to win will obviously be frustrated with the way that you're playing. I just think that sort of difference between players can be a little bit frustrating to have to deal with if you're on either side. And I just feel like adding in 2 different queues, one that affects skill rating and one that doesn't, could again really take this game a lot further. I am aware there's an extra competitive queue somewhere deep in the settings, but come on, it's not good enough. The third thing I want to talk about now is the meta shifts. So speaking of the most recent patch notes, which I'll put on screen now, I'm a huge fan of the way they've managed the map objectives, so the new Urn, the new Rift. I think those two, they're really good. They're really good. I have no issues with those at all. The one thing I do have an issue with is the way that characters are being balanced though. What I mean by this is I want to use Drifter as an example. So there's obviously clearly a desire for these characters to be balanced in the game. Although I feel like Deadlock is trying to sort of stir meta shifts in a way that doesn't really work. And that does just come from the fact that there just aren't enough characters in the game. Drifter is a character that did not need to be buffed. I think you could do very well on him if you know how to play him. And him being buffed to this sort of extreme sort of length, where he now has a 57% win rate and is just crushing every single lobby in the game, is an issue. I think there really is an issue. And I think trying to force meta shifts like they do in like Riot Games is obviously they are very well known for meta shifts in their games, and that's because they have the hero pool size to do that, and that's fine. But with a character pool size of however many Deadlock has, you can't be forcing characters to be bad and some characters to be good. it doesn't work because there's not enough characters in the game to be able to deal with them. The last thing I'm going to talk about, last thing I'm going to rant about is just the ranking system in general, or more so with the skill rating. I really feel like this game does need a reset in ranks quite soon. I think just as it's gone on for it's a lot easier to rank up than it is to rank down in this game, I feel. So the ranks at the moment are inflated to a whole nother level. The amount of players in Oracle is way too high. It's, especially as Oracle is sort of seen, even by Deadlock, as like one of the higher ranks to get into. I think Oracle has the most players, and that's like, I mean, like, what is that rank distribution? That's just what's going on. The amount of players in Phantom, amount of players in Ascendant, there's too many players who are average to below average that are in these almost the highest rank in the game. There needs to be a complete reset on ranks. I think everyone needs to be replaced, and I think the game needs to make use out of those lower ranks a bit more. There's not enough players in the lowest of ranks. If you're coming new into the game, I think you're put into like the third or fourth just rank just off the bat most of the time on and it's just like we got to make use more of Initiate, make more use out of Seeker. You know, these ranks aren't even like heard of anymore, so there needs to be a much bigger spread of ranks. I don't feel like it's working at the minute of the way they're dealing with it. Do a rank reset. It should work itself out, I guess. But yeah, that's all I wanted to rant about. This was a bit of me going on a bit of a tangent video, but that's just my opinion on the way that the game should be dealt with. I guess just a few things. They have also announced they are going to be making a few changes to this, so I hope that they do come sooner rather than later. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.